idea conclusion. Humans with disabilities need consciousness not described to them by a human who has some sort of special, mysterious ability. A drug dealer, a gangster, a thug, a dominant anarchist who knows systems and processes and uses stimulation to explain a benefit they say for consciousness and why there are people who are depressed from those who are racists and limiting and restricting and controlling their substances and their chemicals and freedom to smoke crack and get some methamphetamine and not sleep now. And unfortunately, those with disabilities aren't hearing the words of a neurologist describe risk involved with insomnia, neurodegenerative conditions, those who choose to not sleep, talk to in hallways, in lounges, and common areas with sweet emotional voices and caring empathy for their condition of Alzheimer's and dementia, Parkinson's, and other conditions. Now, they use their skills with language and friendships to cause those with disability to feel uncomfortable in their own home, in a building with apartments. Now, and using behavior to synchronize their energy, safety, and security when they need stimulation. Now, and the reward and what they provide a community of people with disabilities has to do with their music, their culture, ethnicity, diversity, and social benefit. Now, a clean, up to date, sustainable building with apartments, in other words, has been used as a chemical delivery service for a body with a brain and limitations. Not all those who have intelligence and genius and brilliance talk about with their confidence and pride. Now, a symptom citywide in Seattle where normally humans with disabilities, hypothetically, would be considered beneficial for speed of motion, empathy, compassion, and respect. Living with a disadvantage and being strong and courageous to not be an emotion, a word, a language, a sentence, and a diagnosis provided by a psychologist, psychiatrist, social worker, and medicine, health, PhD doctor now. Consciousness has no requirement with communication. A monk could go a whole lifetime silent and quiet and have a better consciousness than a neighbor next door now, than a neighbor down the stairs now, than a neighbor across the hall now, a neighbor, a neighbor, a neighbor, 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 neighbor. And people still insist consciousness has to do with a drug, a dominant human controlling them and limiting their disruption. And what they talk about with what they see in a world they normally don't observe when they receive their food bank delivery, when they go to the grocery store and use their food stamp card now. And anyone who disagrees with abuse and suffering, harassment and violence and bullying, has to be prepared for death and dying, and someone with a fist and a bat and a sword and a knife who are ready to stab and kill and murder to have their stimulation now. When there's no freedom and dominance has power, those with disabilities suffer within this example now. They get fatter, they smoke more, they do more drugs and fund more of their own poverty now. And mostly they have to sit quietly and silently with goals and dreams and aspirations and an objective for a day, and wait for safety. Wait and wait and wait and wait. And unfortunately, those most intelligent, those most powerful, and those most strong, and those most dominant never have a second, a minute, a hour, a year with their time disrupted now. Similar to a cowboy with a herd of cows. Staring at them, yelling at them, "Get the fuck out of here, you're fucking done, you need to get the fuck out of here. You're fucking with my goddamn music. You're fucking with my goddamn insomnia. And most of all, you're fucking with my goddamn heroin." And nobody says, "Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me, gender neutral human. Excuse me, Mr. Powerful Sir, dominant, brilliant, powerful, and humongous, ginormous, deadly, and violent human. You could be a reason a child dies from cancer. You could be a hypothetical baby who can't receive treatment from an applicant who wants to be a neurosurgeon and practice pediatric neurology. And most of all, you could be the change you wish to see in the world, eventually killing a family you talk about socially, and a baby you proclaim has been born from you now.